Most folks treat their kitchen drain like it can handle just about anything. But I can tell you, some of the things going down that drain right now are silently wrecking your pipes. After 3 decades of fixing drains that never needed to break in the first place, I am sharing 10 things you should never pour down your drain. Stick around, because number 8 is one almost nobody thinks about, and the bonus tip at the end could save you hundreds of dollars. The first thing you should never pour down your drain is cooking oil, grease, and fat. Now, I know this one sounds obvious, but you would be amazed how many people still do it every single day. You finish frying up some bacon or searing a nice steak, and that hot grease is sitting right there in the pan. It is liquid, it is warm, and the drain is 2 feet away. So you pour it right in, run some hot water behind it, and figure you are good to go. Here's the problem. That grease does not stay liquid for long. As soon as it hits the cooler pipes underneath your sink, it starts to solidify. It coats the inside of your pipes like candle wax, building up on a candle holder. Over time, layer after layer stacks up, and the opening inside that pipe gets narrower and narrower. Eventually, other food particles and debris get trapped in that sticky coating, and now you have got yourself a full-blown blockage. Plumbers call these fatbergs, and they are the #1 cause of residential drain clogs across the country. Getting one cleared professionally can cost you anywhere from $200 to $300 or more if hydrojetting is needed. Instead, let that grease cool down in the pan. Then scrape it into an old can or jar and toss it in the trash. Some folks even keep a dedicated grease container right next to the stove. Simple habit, and it will save you a world of trouble. The second thing you should never send down your drain is coffee grounds. This one catches a lot of people off guard because coffee grounds look so fine and harmless. You rinse out your French press or tap your filter basket over the sink and figure those tiny little grounds will just wash right through. But they do not. Coffee grounds do not dissolve in water. Not even a little bit. What actually happens is they settle inside your pipes and start to clump together. Think of it like wet sand packing down at the bottom of a bucket. Over time, that buildup gets dense and compact, and water has a harder and harder time pushing through. What makes it even worse is when those grounds mix with any grease or oil residue that is already lining the inside of your pipes. Now you have got a thick sludge that is incredibly stubborn to clear. A professional snaking to remove that kind of buildup can run you anywhere from $150 to $250, depending on how deep the blockage is. The easy fix here is to toss your used coffee grounds straight into the trash. Better yet, if you have a garden, coffee grounds make a wonderful addition to compost. Roses, blueberries, and azaleas absolutely love them. Just keep them out of your drain, and your pipes will thank you for it. The third thing that should never go down your drain is flour and starchy foods. This one surprises a lot of homeowners, but once you understand the science behind it, it makes perfect sense. Think about what happens when you mix flour with water in a bowl. It turns into a thick, sticky paste almost immediately. That exact same thing happens inside your pipes when you rinse flour down the drain. It does not just wash away cleanly. It combines with the water sitting in your pipes and forms a gluey coating that clings to the walls. Now imagine that paste drying and hardening over time. it becomes almost like cement, and anything else that flows through your pipes starts sticking to it. Bits of food, grease, soap residue, all of it gets caught in that layer, and the clog grows bigger and bigger. The same principle applies to things like leftover mashed potato water or thick, starchy pasta sauce that you might be tempted to rinse away. Even small amounts add up over weeks and months. The cost to have a stubborn starch clog professionally cleared can land anywhere from $100 to $300, and that is money you did not need to spend. The smarter move is to wipe out any floury or starchy residue from your bowls and pots with a paper towel before washing them. Scrape your plates into the trash first. It takes 5 extra seconds, and it keeps your pipes flowing the way they should. Now, if you're finding this video helpful so far, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps this video reach more homeowners like yourself, who would also find this information helpful. The fourth thing you should never pour down your drain is household paint and solvents. A lot of folks finish up a painting project, rinse their brushes right in the sink, and do not think twice about it. But whether it is latex paint or oil-based paint, sending it down the drain is a serious mistake. Latex paint might be water-based, but it still contains chemicals and resins that do not belong in your plumbing. As that paint dries inside your pipes, it hardens and narrows the passageway, just like dried paint on the lid of a can. Oil-based paints and solvents are even worse because they contain harsh chemicals that can corrode certain types of pipe material, especially older pipes made from cast iron or galvanized steel. Beyond the damage to your own plumbing, paint and solvents are classified as hazardous waste in most municipalities. Pouring them into your drain means they end up in the local water treatment system, and those facilities are not designed to filter out paint chemicals. In some areas, you can actually be fined for improper disposal. The right way to handle leftover latex paint is to let it dry out completely in the can, then toss it in the regular trash. For oil-based paints and solvents, take them to your local hazardous waste collection site. Most communities have scheduled drop-off days throughout the year. When it comes to cleaning your brushes, wipe off as much excess paint as you can with newspaper or old rags first, then clean them in a container you can dispose of properly. Your pipes and your local water supply will both be better for it. The fifth item on our list is medications and pills. This is one that a lot of people get wrong with the best of intentions. You have got an old bottle of expired prescriptions sitting in the medicine cabinet, and you figure the safest thing to do is flush them down the toilet or rinse them down the sink so nobody accidentally takes them. It sounds responsible, but it actually creates a much bigger problem. Medications do not break down the way you might expect once they hit the water. The active chemicals in those pills, everything from antibiotics to hormones to pain relievers, to pass right through your pipes and into the water system. Here is the part that really matters. Modern water treatment plants are designed to filter out bacteria and common contaminants, but they are not equipped to remove pharmaceutical compounds. That means trace amounts of medications end up in rivers, lakes, and eventually in the drinking water supply. Studies have actually found measurable levels of prescription drugs in tap water in cities across the country. The environmental impact is real too. Aquatic life is especially sensitive to these chemicals, and even tiny concentrations can disrupt ecosystems over time. So, what should you do instead? The safest option is to look for a drug take back program in your area. Most pharmacies and police stations have collection boxes specifically for expired or unused medications. If you cannot find a drop off location, the FDA recommends mixing the pills with something undesirable like used coffee grounds or cat litter, sealing them in a container, and putting them in your household trash. It takes a little extra effort, but it is the responsible thing to do. The sixth thing you should keep out of your drain is eggshells. Now, this is one where a very popular myth has led a lot of homeowners astray. You have probably heard someone say that eggshells are actually good for your garbage disposal because the sharp edges help clean the blades. That sounds like it makes sense, but it is not true. Garbage disposals do not have blades the way most people imagine. They use impellers that spin and force food waste against a grinding ring. Eggshells do not sharpen anything in there. What actually happens is the shells break into small, gritty fragments, and that thin membrane on the inside of the shell tends to wrap around the moving parts. Over time, those tiny shell pieces settle in your pipes and start to accumulate. They act like sand in a drain, packing down and combining with grease and other residue to form a stubborn blockage. The texture of ground up eggshells makes them especially good at catching other debris that flows through. Having a plumber clear that kind of gritty buildup out of your pipes can cost you anywhere from $75 to $200, depending on the severity. The better choice is to simply toss your eggshells in the trash. If you're a gardener, crushed eggshells are wonderful for your soil because they add calcium and help deter certain pests like slugs. Some folks even sprinkle them around their tomato plants. Either way, your drain is not the place for them, no matter what your neighbor told you. The seventh thing that should never go down in your drain is rice and pasta. These two pantry staples seem completely harmless, but they have a hidden quality that makes them a real threat to your plumbing. Both rice and pasta continue to absorb water long after they have been cooked. Think about what happens when you leave leftover rice sitting in a bowl of water. It swells up and nearly doubles in size. That exact same thing happens inside your drain pipes. When you rinse leftover rice or pasta down the sink, those pieces settle into the low points and bends of your plumbing and just keep expanding. As they swell, they press against the walls of the pipe and trap everything else that flows through. Even a small amount of rice can cause problems over time because it gets sticky and clumps together into a dense mass that water cannot push past. Pasta is just as bad, especially smaller shapes like orzo or macaroni that slip down the drain easily and go unnoticed. The starchy coating on both rice and pasta also leaves a residue on the inside of your pipes that attracts more buildup. Getting a rice or pasta clog cleared out of your drain can cost anywhere from $100 to $250. And the blockage tends to form deep enough that you cannot reach it with a basic household snake. The simple solution is to scrape leftover rice and pasta into the trash or a compost bin before you wash your dishes. Use a mesh strainer in your sink if you are draining pasta water to catch any stray pieces. A $2 strainer now saves you a $200 plumber visit later. Number 8 on our list is one that almost nobody thinks about, and that is produce stickers. Those tiny little stickers on your apples, bananas, tomatoes, and just about every piece of fruit or vegetable you buy at the grocery store. They seem so small and insignificant that most people peel them off under running water and let them wash right down the drain without a second thought. But those little stickers are made from plastic or vinyl, and they do not dissolve in water. Not now, not ever. They are also coated with adhesive on the backside, which means they stick to the inside of your pipes, catch on joints and bends, and grab onto anything else flowing past. One sticker is not going to ruin your plumbing overnight, but think about how many pieces of produce your household goes through in a week. Over months and years, dozens and dozens of those tiny stickers accumulate inside your pipes and at your local water treatment facility. In fact, water treatment plants have reported that produce stickers are one of the most common and frustrating contaminants they deal with because the screens and filters were never designed to catch something that small and sticky. The fix here could not be easier. When you're washing your fruits and vegetables, peel the sticker off first and drop it in the trash. Make it part of your routine before you even turn on the faucet. It is one of those small habits that takes almost no effort but makes a real difference for your plumbing and for the water system downstream. The ninth thing you should never pour down your drain is dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cream. Now, I know what you are thinking. Milk is a liquid, so what could possibly go wrong? It seems like it would just flow right through with no issues at all. But dairy actually causes problems you would never expect, and most of the damage happens long after it leaves your sink. When dairy products break down, the decomposition process requires a massive amount of oxygen. If you're on a septic system, pouring large amounts of milk or cream down your drain can throw off the delicate bacterial balance inside your tank. That balance is what keeps your septic system functioning properly. And once it gets disrupted, you are looking at sluggish drains, foul odors, and potentially an expensive pump out or repair. For homes on municipal sewer systems, the problem shifts to the environment. Dairy that enters the water system depletes oxygen in rivers and streams, which suffocates fish and other aquatic life. This is taken so seriously in some countries that businesses can actually be fined for pouring dairy down the drain. In the United Kingdom, for example, improper dairy disposal carries real penalties. So, what should you do with that expired milk or leftover yogurt? If it is only slightly past its date, you can use it in baking or cooking, where the heat will take care of any bacteria. If it is truly spoiled, seal the container and put it in the trash. Some communities also accept dairy in their food waste composting programs, so check what is available in your area. Just keep it out of your pipes. The 10th and final thing you should never pour down your drain is a mixture of cleaning products. A lot of homeowners figure that if one drain cleaner is good, then adding a second product will work even better. Or maybe you pour some bleach down the sink and then follow it up with a different bathroom cleaner without thinking about what is already sitting in the pipes. This is genuinely dangerous. When certain cleaning chemicals combine, they create toxic fumes that can cause serious respiratory problems, eye irritation, and in extreme cases, chemical burns. The most common dangerous combination is bleach mixed with ammonia-based cleaners. which produces chloramine gas. Bleach mixed with acidic drain cleaners can release chlorine gas. Both of these are harmful to breathe, especially in a small enclosed space like a bathroom or under a kitchen sink. Beyond the immediate health risk, these chemical reactions also damage your plumbing from the inside. The heat and corrosive compounds generated by these reactions can eat away at pipe joints, weaken PVC connections, and accelerate corrosion in older metal pipes. Over time, that kind of internal damage leads to leaks, cracked fittings, and repairs that can easily cost $200 or more. The safe approach is simple. Use one product at a time and always flush the drain thoroughly with plenty of water before introducing anything else. Read the labels on your cleaning products so you know what you are working with. And if you are ever unsure whether two products are safe to combine, just do not do it. No clogged drain is worth a trip to the emergency room. And now for the bonus tip that professional plumbers swear by. If you want to keep your kitchen drain fresh and flowing without any harsh chemicals, try this simple routine once a month. Pour about half a cup of baking soda down the drain, followed by half a cup of plain white vinegar. You will hear it fizz and bubble, and that reaction helps break up light buildup and deodorizes the inside of your pipes naturally. Let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes, then flush everything through with a full kettle of boiling water. This little monthly habit is not going to clear a serious clog, but it does a wonderful job of preventing one from forming in the first place. Think of it like brushing your teeth for your plumbing. Professional plumbers use this trick in their own homes, and now you can too. It costs almost nothing and takes less than 5 minutes. Thanks for sticking with me through the entire video. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more DIY plumbing tips, and check out our other videos.